have a problem. Happy Halloween, my spooklings, and boy do I have a treat for you. Today we're going to talk about a game that struck fear into my heart as a child. It scared me so much, I couldn't even get past the second level. Let's face our fears with Maui Mallard in Cold Shadow. Alright, I know what you're thinking. This game is what scared you? It's a Disney game, for crying out loud. Well, yeah, I fully admit that I was, and still am, easily frightened. But trust me when I say there's more to this game than meets the eye. First off, some history. From what I understand, the SNES version of this game is the only version that was released here in America. It was originally released for the Genesis in Brazil and Europe. In those versions, the main character was Donald Duck, who took on the role of Maui Mallard, a detective. In the SNES version, he is just called Maui Mallard and is treated like a separate character. I only mention this because it confused me as a child. Cold Shadow is apparently the name of the ninja form Mallard takes throughout the game. Let's be real for a second and acknowledge that they chose only to show Cold Shadow on the cover. Probably because they knew people would buy the game just for that. It's the same reason I used him for my title card. I mean, seriously, it's a ninja duck. You're gonna buy it. You're gonna click on it. It's a freaking ninja duck. Now that that's out of the way, let's jump into the game. Maui Mallard is investigating a lost idol that protected the island. From what I don't know. According to the wiki, the idol keeps the island from exploding? Okay then, not even gonna question how that works. Our first level starts us off with Maui Mallard in a mansion. Try saying that 5 times fast. Maui uses a bug gun to attack enemies like spiders, ghosts, and butlers who serve spiders. I mean, they don't work for the spiders, they serve them for dinner, I guess. The game has typical platforming mechanics, but I'll get more into the gameplay later. For now, we mow through the level collecting treasure and then fight a spider chandelier thing. If you collect enough treasure in a level, you're rewarded with a bonus game where you bounce on stars to set off rockets placed on the suns and moons. If you set off all the rockets, you get a password. There's a password system in this game. Most of them are just passwords to skip to certain levels, but there are a couple that include infinite continues and infinite health. Oh yeah, in this game you have a certain amount of health points. You can increase/heal yourself with Fruit Punch and money. Well, he is related to Scrooge McDuck after all. Okay, with all that out of the way, let's hit level 2, the level that paralyzed me with fear as a kid. Which is funny since I always wanted to play as the ninja form. This level starts you off with a witch doctor guy who zaps you until medallions spew out, and then he leaves. He'll be important later. Trust me. I'll just come out and say it. What scared me about this level was the thunderstorm that takes place. I guess I was afraid of storms as a kid, mainly due to the power going out from one during the opening scene of The Mouse Detective. You know the one. You know it. That crap is scary. Friggin' bat. Anyways, once you start collecting the medallions, you can transform into Cold Shadow. The more medallions you collect, the more combo attacks and cooler outfits you get. As Cold Shadow, you can swing on skull thingies and use your staff to climb up certain walls. You can even switch between the two characters at any time, which is especially super cool given the time period this game came out in. Before we finally talk about the gameplay, I just want to highlight the graphics of this game. The sprites and their animation are fantastic. I know it sounds silly, but the game looks like a cartoon from the Disney Afternoon block. The levels look amazing as well. On the topic of presentation, the music is catchy even though it doesn't always match up with the level. At this point, I'm sure the game sounds incredible, like a real treat, huh? Well, sorry kiddos, but you've just been tricked. Because if there's one major flaw of this game, it's in its gameplay. To be fair, most of the gameplay mechanics are really interesting throughout the game. Later levels are designed around the two characters' different abilities and require you to transform throughout the level. There's even a water level that seems impossible at first because Mallard does this weird moonwalk thing, but it turns out if you use your gun to propel you can get places faster, which is neat. Even basic stuff like swinging from skull to skull feels amazing, like a 2D Assassin's Creed. If the hitboxes would work. And that's the biggest problem. For every interesting and fun mechanic there is in this game, there lies a fundamental flaw with its hitboxes. There are tons of platforms and skulls that you can just phase through. Even collectibles are hard to pick up due to the funky hitboxes. Also, I don't know if it was just my controller, but I felt like I couldn't make small adjustments to my placing. It's either 0 or 60 with him. Lastly, the camera pans a bit every time you face a different direction, which while not a deal breaker, it did become almost nauseating at times of constant movement. I wouldn't harp on these things so much if it didn't make the game super infuriating. These problems plague every single level. To catch up with the story, after we have taken on the form of Cold Shadow, we seem to have some trouble with the native warriors. Why? I don't really know, but I'm guessing it involves the missing idol. This level has a section where you're shrunk down. That's it. It doesn't really affect the gameplay, but it's cute, so I'll mention it. This level's boss involves you shooting the children warriors as their own kind watch, because that'll get the approval rating up. So now we have to prove ourselves to the warriors. After a normal lava stage, we're met with an auto-scrolling section where you ride a piece of land to the top of the volcano. What sucks is the fact that you have to be perfect with your movements, otherwise you'll either be too slow and get crushed, or you'll be too fast and bump into a wall and not be able to recover fast enough and get crushed. I kinda hate this level. After beating that, we're greeted with the silhouette of some person who goes on saying that they were wrong about us? Who is this person? One of the warrior folk? Well, no, because she tells us we still have to make peace with them. Wasn't that what the lava was for? Where did this new character come from? I'm so confused! Anyways, we now have to do another level in order to get info on where the idol is. The first part of this level is actually one of the best levels in the game. It incorporates both characters along with adding a bungee feature. It's overall charming. The second half, however, I had no idea what I was supposed to do at first. I thought I was just supposed to navigate these pointy stakes up to get to the other side using the bungee mechanic. But no! At the start, there are jumping children. You are supposed to carry them one at a time to the end of the level and then come back again. That wouldn't be so bad if I only had to do it like 3 times. But no! You have to bring everyone. And if I counted correctly, which is difficult because they wouldn't stop moving, that's 7 times total. This section is almost impossible to do without getting a game over. Look at this nonsense! Come on, kids, don't you want to go see the frog? Grab my darn hand, Timmy! Oh my god, let go of the hand, Johnny! Stop it! I just want this over. I will murder you all! And murder them we do. Because it turns out the frog is the boss stage. However, you're not supposed to kill the frog. You're supposed to hit it just right so that its tongue will grab the children you brought over. Why? You win once all of the children are eaten. What the heck? Apparently sacrificing their young not only appeased the frog, but also put you in good terms with the chief. You appeased the frog? That's great! We can't thank you enough, but tell me, how'd you do it? Oh, ways. Also, like 7 of your people have left on vacation. Don't ask where because I don't know. Oh, and in case I'm being rude by assuming they're children, they laugh like children. Their voices sound like children. It's been that way throughout this whole game, so I'm just gonna assume I just murdered 7 children. This game gets dark. It turns out the only person who could tell us where the idol is dead. So we have to find his remains in the sea. Not much to say here that I didn't mention before. There's this cool boss fight though, like where you're on a boat, I don't know who's rowing it, and like giant skeleton zombie duckhead or pirate person. It's pretty cool. After that, we have a pretty funny line, and now must go on to return his spirit to his final resting place. Literal hell. No, I'm not kidding. Thank God I never got this far before. If Kid Me was terrified by the second level, they'd be traumatized by this one. I mean, just look at it. There's a giant eyeball in the background, and zombies in the foreground, and frustrating game design everywhere else. It is a nightmare. It is literal hell. Screw this level. I know it's the most that fits with the Halloween spirit, but seriously, I died so many times here. After a level in which you ride on a skeleton duck boat, we get to help escort a jar containing 2 eyeballs and a bill to the top of the level. An escort mission. Are you serious? Screw it. We're skipping to the end. We're going. Go. I don't care. Moving on. So we found out where the idol is. It's with the witch doctor. You know, the witch doctor? The dude from the beginning of level 2? I told you he'd be important later. I told you, man. Anyways, he wants to throw the idol into a storm and I guess blow up the island. It's never explained. Don't ask questions. But we now have unlimited ninja power, so yay! This guy's boss fight is super easy, actually. Dodge his attacks, break his balls, then break his balls. Once you do that, we see Maui land in the beach, and the mysterious figure reveals themselves as a hot duck chick, which upon further inspection, looks kinda like Daffy Duck in drag. She goes on to narrate how it's a shame you died in the battle when the island will be named after you, only not really, because who would go to a place called Mallard? Maui gets up and rushes to her, too late, before she teleports into some kind of sphere thing? What, is she an alien now? Whatever, before leaving, she beams back down and starts to make out with Maui? What? I didn't ask for this! I don't even know your name yet, and you think I want to go to first base with you? No means no, creep! Help! I'm being abducted! And that darn idol was just a refrigerator! What? And now I have to see Maui Mallard's face in the sky, letting us know that yes, he did indeed get some. I'm done! I'm done. What is my life? At the end of the day, I have mixed feelings about Maui Mallard and Cold Shadow. On one hand, the artwork and the game mechanics are really good, and I want to praise them. But at the same time, I found myself frustrated by the unfair and unreliable platforming. I don't even know if the unfairness of this game is just old school charm. I mean, I felt accomplished when I finally made it through the hard part, but I only made it through by memorizing the level. Is that good game design? It's hard to say. I could easily go on into a long discussion about the merits of games like this and how they may or may not fit in the gaming world today, but at the end of the day, we're talking about a game in which a duck detective becomes a ninja to save an island from exploding that ends with him making out with some random alien chick duck. And if that doesn't scream Halloween, then I don't know what does. Hi everyone, thanks a bunch for watching this really silly video about Maui Mallard in Cold Shadow. Thanks a lot to my sister, who is holding the camera right now. We're getting fancy shots up in here. She also did the base sketch for the title card that you've seen that I referred to. She drew that, and I colored it and stuff. It's really awesome work. If you want, while you're here, you can subscribe, you can like, you can share, you can whatever you want to do. Post a comment. Maybe you played this game. Maybe you really like this game. Maybe we can go into that long discussion about the merits of games like this in today's market. Whatever. While you're here, I got a video on Luigi's Mansion where my sister, who's holding the camera, joined me as we talked over a drawing I was doing of Luigi about the series. And I also have a video on the Namco Museum. It is funny, and you should watch it. That's about all I have to say on that note. So, thanks again, everybody. We carve these every year. Where's Hunter?
Behind you.
Behind me?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's our latest one. So yeah. Thanks again. Happy Halloween. Have a safe Halloween. Have a scary Halloween. I don't know, play something fun. Or go eat candy. You're never too old for candy. See ya! See ya! Maui uses a big gun to attack enemies. I said big, but it's Spug. But I felt that I couldn't make small adjustments to my placing. Help! I'm being abducted! I've never seen that actually happen much. At all. Someone's gonna be all like, no, it's all over the place. People did that all the time. They didn't do it in Lion King.